Hello, my name's Julie from So Unique, and I will pop all the links down below where you can find me on social media. Well, welcome to episode 166. I hope everybody's well. I hope you've all had a lovely crafty week, and I hope the weather's been kind to you all, because the weather here has been brilliant. I mean, this is Monday today, and on Saturday the temperatures were up to 21 degrees, so that was quite warm really for April. So it's been nice. It's a little bit cooler today. Sun's been out a little bit. It's been a little bit windy, but it still gets the washing dried. Mind you, it nearly blew me away when I came out earlier on trying to open my door, because it opens outwards and the wind just sort of comes down the side of the house and it's quite strong. It can whip the door out of your hand if you're not careful, so it is a little bit windy. But apart from that, yeah, it's all good. Had quite a busy week actually this week. I've got more done than I thought. I've been sewing on the felt kit, I've been cross stitching, I've been cutting out some bags, I've done some crochet, and I've been in the kitchen as well. I organise 3 freezers. So yeah, we're all sort of tidy in that respect for a few Easter things that I'm going to be making for the coming weekend, as we've got family coming round 2 different days probably. Yeah, I made some bread earlier on this week, and that was a bit of a disaster. Now, I've not filmed any of this with the baking and the cooking and that, because I didn't have time really. But I made some bread. Now, it didn't rise as much as it should have done, which that was the yeast, so the yeast went in the bin. Took the bread out of the machine and I thought, well, it looks a little bit pasty, and it hadn't cooked through. It was still a bit doughy inside, so we popped it in the oven. Then Adele covered it up, and then when I took it out, it was a bit overcooked. It was crispy, let's put it that way. Not burnt, just crispy. So, well, you couldn't really cut it, because I've had to cut into it to check that the centre was cooked. So it basically just got ripped by everybody, and they had some cheese or some spread on it, and I have to say it did taste quite nice. I had thought, if nobody can eat it, if it's, you know, not good enough, I'll just make it into breadcrumbs for the nut loaves. But no, it all went, which I was surprised at. So I have been and bought some new yeast. So my plan is, after I finish filming and editing, I'm going to go and put another loaf of bread on, and hopefully it works. So I don't know what happened, whether I got distracted by talking and turned the machine off prematurely or what, but hopefully this one will work out better. I made another couple of nut loaves to go in the freezer, but Adele spotted it last night and I knew she'd been picking at one of them, so I cut 3 slices off, so we had that for tea with a nice salad, and I made some potato salad as well, so that went down well. So the rest of the nut loaf is in the freezer, so that will be out over the weekend, because I know if we have company it comes out, because they like it as well. So 2 nut loaves will last the weekend. What else have I done? I don't know, I forgot what I've done now actually. That's probably all I've done really. Oh, I did a pumpkin loaf, that was it, I got that. I've got plans like for this week to do some other things. I need to make some ice cream. I need to make macaroni cheese, which I was going to make mac and cheese tonight, hence why I wanted some breadcrumbs as well. Put that on the mac and cheese. But Adele's doing tea tonight, so I'm doing the salad and she's doing some potatoes. I've forgotten how you pronounce it, dauphinoise or something, where you cook potatoes and onions in milk in the oven. Because when we went shopping the other week, we were going to buy some, And Adele says, oh, £5 for that small container, it's not worth it, which is not. So she decided to make some, so she's going to do plenty by the looks of it. She's got 2 bags of potatoes in the kitchen, and I said to her, well, we can do them and we'll just put them in the freezer, we'll portion them up and put them in the freezer, so that'll be nice. What else am I doing? Ice cream. Oh, I am doing some other things now. Some of the local supermarkets, if I can find the book, put out free books. Now I do get them. I don't always get them every month, like, but I got this one and had a look at it when I was in bed the other night and thought, well, there's quite a few things in here that I would like to have a go at doing. Now, I'm not going to share everything that's in there. There's all kinds of things in there, but there's actually 3 things I'm going to share with you. The first one, they've actually got some stuff on to do with rhubarb. So you've got rhubarb and ginger chutney, which I already make chutney, so I don't put ginger in mine now. I'm not a fan of ginger. And the other dish is a roasted rhubarb, feta and lentil salad. So hopefully, if I've got all the ingredients, I'm going to make this next week. So I'll share with you on the vlog next week what I thought to it. But I had baked some rhubarb and I've portioned it up to go in the freezer. I thought I'd try that, because I did say last week that I'd picked the rhubarb, first cut in, and I was making some crumbles, which I made them, so they went down really well. And the 2 that I made for Kevin and myself, well, 2, there were 6 I made for Kevin and myself using the almond flour, and that was really nice. And we had a little bit of custard with it, so we had 1 pot of rhubarb and that this week, and then we'll have another one probably later on next week. I'm not gonna have too many. So in this salad, I mean, look how nice that looks. I mean, I know it's all meant to look nice for advertising purposes, but in there you've got your rhubarb. It does use olive oil and clear honey and orange zest. I suppose that's for your dressing. But green lentils, which we have, cannellini beans, which we have, baby spinach, which we have, avocado, which we love, and then it's chives and feta. And oh no, you've got Dijon mustard as well, and toasted 3-seed mix, which I've got sunflowers and pumpkin seeds in the cupboard, so I will use that. And I might do my own dressing. I don't know, we'll see. But I would love to try that, because I'm really needing new ideas for using the rhubarb, because the rhubarb is just romping away. I'm going to have to pick some more soon. And the other thing I found in here that I want to make, and I'm going to make this for the weekend, is spinach, asparagus, and it says Gruyere cheese, which I won't be using that. It's not suitable for Adele, so I'm going to be using mature cheddar, which it tells you can use. Now, doesn't that look nice? I love asparagus, and we usually have it in the crustless quiche, that a tray bake type of thing that I make. So that's nice, because that's got the cottage cheese in and everything. But this one is a little bit different. It's a little bit more, I would say, indulgent. So you've got, obviously you've got a base, so as it's for Easter and it's to use for company, I'm going to make the pastry base as well. But I'm also going to have a shop bought quiche, a finest one, for those who don't like asparagus and things like that. So obviously you've got your cheese, you've got your eggs, your garlic, it's spinach, cream, mixed herbs like dill and parsley, chives or tarragon, and asparagus, and that's about it really. Yeah, cream and eggs, yeah. So that should be quite easy to whip up. So I will obviously share that as well. for next week. And the last thing I'm going to do, which I'm hoping to do obviously this week as well, because I really want to try this. This is cottage cheese chocolate mousse. Now, I've heard of this, but I've never sort of had a recipe or anything. So when I spotted this in the box, I thought, well, that I have got to make. When I said to Kevin I was going to make this, he says, it's got cottage cheese in. Ooh. I says, is it blended? He says. I says, yes, you have to blend it all up. I says, you'll not taste it. So, and all you need for that is dark chocolate, which we have, cottage cheese, which we have, maple syrup, which we have cocoa powder, and it's olive oil and some sea salt. And that's all it is. So I'll presume you just mix it up and put it in the fridge for a little while. So, yes, I'll let you know how we get on with that as well. But like I said, this book this time, it's got some lovely recipes in, more sort of what the average person would have in, I think. So yeah, so if you've got access to one of these, I would go and get yourself one, because I'm sure you'd like it. So I'm going to be busy doing kitcheny stuff this week. Right, well, I'm just going to have a sip of water and then we'll get on to the crafting, what I've actually been doing this week. Better. Right, well, the first thing I've done is I've made a couple of frogs ready for Adele. So this one I just had to put the mouth on, and this one I finished off earlier on in the week, and I've just had to stuff and put the eyes on and stitch it all up. So I've been doing them. So I'm going to do some more. I think I'd got 2 out of 1 ball. I'm not sure. Well, I've got a little bit left over. And then the next thing I was working on, I got a free pattern off Instagram for a bee. So I have done a rainbow bee. Now this is just a prototype because I was working between 2 patterns, one for a bee and one that was a candy corn bee, which you'd use to put the stripes in, but I'd sort of misread it and I've put like 2 rows of crochet in per colour. There is blue there, blue and purple, and there's pink there because I couldn't find my red. But I found my red now. So I just said to her, what do you think of the size of it? And she liked it. But I did say, on the next time I do it, I'm just going to do 1 row of colour just to make it a little bit smaller. So I've got sparkly wings on there, pair of eyes. So I think that's turned out quite well. So I thought, yeah, I'll do some for some of her shows that she's doing. So that should keep me busy. It's going to be all crochet. Oh dear. But I must admit, I do enjoy doing them. So that is all the crochet I've done. The next thing I've been doing, I've been keeping all my bits for the shop, all my little kits in here. I'm still putting everything in a plastic bag, but they all stack into this bag lovely. So this was my prototype one for all the bags that I've been doing, and it actually works out quite well because I can just pick this up in the morning and take it to work. So as you know, I've been working on this lovely cross stitch kit with the bunny. Well, it's better you can see it. And I've not been doing too bad with this. So the bodies, well, the heads come together really nicely. You can see it's a nice bunny. So I've started on the flowers. So I've been doing this at work, and I've probably just over an hour a day. So some days I haven't done as much as others, but you know, I have been working on it and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. So I haven't done anything on it today, but I will try and do a little bit tonight if I've got time, because I've been sitting upstairs at the computer desk. Now I've got more space, and I've been doing this when I bring it home, especially at the weekend. And I also took this to work and I think it was last Tuesday. Last Tuesday I took it to work, and I just looked at it and thought, do I want to cut these? Because I just thought, oh, fiddly pieces. But you know, I thought, no, of course, I'm being silly. So I cut them out. Then I got my felt out and I started cutting all the pieces out. So then the next day I thought, right, we'll get sewing now. The only other thing I've had trouble with is getting my flowers to look like that, but I have stitched one of the flowers on because they're all in individual petals, but it's sort of temporary, just so I could get the placement around this area. So I'll show you what I've done, which I actually think I've done quite well on this week. I've done more than I expected. So it's not bad, is it? For a few days work. I have started to put the detail on there and on the body. I've got the blue bits to put on the body, the white bits to do on the head, then I've got all the decoration to do on the wing. Now the wing will probably become last, I think. I really enjoyed doing this little bit of embroidery here, and the leaves went on really well. It was quite quick actually, and then the hibiscus flower went on. I got the pistol done with all the little French knots, and yeah, I've really enjoyed this. Mind you, I enjoyed doing the advent calendar, so yeah, but like I said, my flower's not brilliant. It needs to be closer together, so sorry about that. Kevin phoned me. I didn't realise what time it was. I've just looked at my clock thinking, it's only 4:45. Why is he phoning me now? And of course I haven't altered my clock, have I? So it's 5:45. Anyhow, now I've lost my train of thought. I know it was on with this. I know I said I was going to leave this part till last. Yeah, I'm going to take the flower off and I'm going to see if I can get it a little bit closer together like that. See, mine's not quite close enough together, but I'm going to redo that one. This week I think I'm going to work on the rest of the bit on the body and do the head and get the eye on, and then just sort of start and get the bits of embroidery on and the flowers. So yeah, like I said, I've been enjoying doing that. It's lovely to work on. It's easier than you think, really. It really is. So yeah. Right, so that's that. The other thing I've been working on, now this is not finished, just excuse me a minute. I've had my Cricut out again. I've been looking on Design Space and seeing lots of lovely designs on there, and I've sort of discovered some sewing things on there. I mean I do search on there, but then I've discovered a different area to search in, and a lot of these designs have come up which didn't come up before. So I have cut out in the vinyl a sewing machine, which I love the sewing machine, and I've put the patchwork fabric in. This is from Highland Hazel, which I have got some on the website, which I absolutely love this. It just saves me having to do patchwork, but it's just like an ordinary frame, and the patchwork could get a bit bulky with the sewing, so I thought I'll use this. Now this is just I'm reusing a frame that we've got, but I don't like the colour. So I think this week I am going to, I don't know, might give it a rub down and just get it painted up. I think I'm going to paint it white, or like an off-white. I'm going to have a look and see, because like I said, the colour of the frame just doesn't do this justice at all. But yeah, I'm trying to use my frames up, because I found this one. I got this one in the bedroom. And I've got two more box frames up on top of the cupboard, so Kevin's going to have more pictures than he realises to put up in the shop soon. I think there's going to be 7. I told him 3 to start with. Then I said, oh, it's 4. This is 5. 2 more is 7. So I think I'll have to pick a day, maybe a Sunday, where we've got a bit more time, and I keep him supplied with snacks and drinks, he should be fine. But I love this sewing machine now. I love the detail on it. It's really nice, and it didn't take long to weed out, so I'm pleased at that. So what do you think? What do you think about painting the frame white? Do you think that's a good idea? Or another colour? I'm not sure. Something I'm going to have to think about. Like I said, I've only just put this together today because I thought it was partly done, and I thought I need to at least get this part done so I can really share it with you. Right, and what I want to decorate sort of a bit on the edge of the frame as well, and I wasn't sure whether to make some flowers, so I've just done like a sample. There's a bit of noise going off out there, like a little I don't know, what do you call this? I've just torn the fabric, and I thought I could stick these on the edge of the frame or along the bottom. And I wasn't sure if that was too big, so then I've tried a lace one, which I quite like, but then how is this going to look on if I paint the frame white? Or do I leave it plain? Or do I put buttons on there? Or some sewing notions? Or do I cut out some vinyl sewing notions and stick on there, say with some proper buttons and that? I don't know. So I've got a lot to think about. So that will probably keep me busy this week, just trying to think of what to do with the frame now to make it as I want it. So if anybody's got any suggestions, please leave them down below. I'd love to hear what you think. It's always nice to sort of get other people's views on things. So I think that's really, oh no, wait a minute, I've got some, I'm about to say that's all I've done, but it's not. I have been cutting out pouches. So if you remember last week I showed you the fabric fat quarter bundle that I got, Nature's Melody. Well, I've got four, I managed to get 4 bundles out. Luckily I'd got this fabric in the shop, and it's from the same designer, and you've got your little, it's like blackberries on there, so I've put that with it, and I think it's really nice. So that's what the inside's going to look like, and then there's a pocket there. So I've got 4 of them, so they're all ready for sewing. They're slightly different. And then I've got some other fabric that are just leftover pieces from some fat quarter bundles that are on the website, and this fabric is in Bloom. So that's the top pocket. Then you've got the butterfly, and then you've got that fabric for where you put your hooks or your DPNs. So I've got another one of these to finish putting the wadding on. So I'm going to have six of these to make up, which I am going to start sewing at some point. Hopefully this week I'll make a start on these, but I'm in no rush to get them finished, so I will just do them as soon as I can, and then I'll share them with you when I've finished. So they will go on the website at some point. Yeah, so that is probably all I've got to share with you, apart from thinking about it. I did buy, this is my only purchase this week, sorry for the rustling, and this is another felt flower kit. So you can just see that, that's it. And this is more of in spring colours, and these are just roses. There's no other sort of shaped flowers in here. So I've got the green bits for the base of the flower, and we've got pink and yellow and like a peach and a darker pink. So I've got a few flowers left from the last kit, so I'm going to start rolling these up this week, because this is something I can do here, I can take to work. I have a glue gun at work, so I can get them on the sticks, and then I can cut them down to see, well, I've got to test them in the vase first, and then just in case I need longer sticks. So yes, I'm using my strawberry vase. So I know I probably mentioned it last week. So I've got some flowers now, so I can get that made. So that will look nice on the dressing table in the bedroom. And then I can always bring it down into the kitchen if I want to. So yeah. Right, I'm just going to have a little drink. I'm getting a dry throat. Oh. Well, that is all I've got to share with you now. So I hope you enjoyed the vlog, and I hope you've managed to get some crafting done yourselves. And yeah, well, I'd like to, I mean, I know it's bank holiday weekend for Easter this weekend, so if you celebrate Easter, happy Easter. If you don't, I hope you have a lovely weekend. I mean, we are just having family round on a couple of days, and the grandchildren are getting Easter eggs, and yeah, so it's just, for us, it's family time, which is nice. It's what it's all about, isn't it, really? Children get a little gift and stuff, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. So there's going to be a little bit of cooking going on this week to get ready, a little bit of tidying up, and yeah, so I think I will leave it there now, and like I said, thank you for joining me, and I will see you all again soon. Might have another small business vlog coming up during the week as well. So I'll see you in a few days' time. So take care, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.